The I Ching is a living transmission of the divine, of consciousness. The I Ching, the Book of Change, is a map of the 64 changing cosmic frequencies of life, of consciousness. This is an ancient wisdom from thousands of years ago that was used to track and harmonize with the forces of nature in order to guide the people, an empire, a civilization. In the 1960s, humanity discovered the 64 genetic codons, our DNA. Magically, they have the same mathematical formula, the same exact geometry as the 64 I Chings. Every 6 days, the sun activates one of these 64 I Ching frequencies, which activates within us a corresponding genetic codon, which stimulates our consciousness, the theme of the life. When we enter into contemplation with a particular I Ching, especially with the I Ching the sun activates each week, then life sends us the experiences we need to unlock the shadow, which raises our vibration and awakens the divine within. The intention of this video is to serve you in the highest blessed way. This is abstract energy of sensing, so receive this message with your heart and body. This week, our sun, the sun within us, our consciousness, the life, is activating the 61st I Ching. The transformational path of this frequency moves us from the shadow of psychosis to the highest vibration of sanctity, and it's through the path of inspiration. All human beings are psychotic, a truth that must be spoken of. If this triggers you, then this video is for you. The dilemma of the 61st shadow is knowledge. Knowledge that we learn through the mind. Knowledge is always of the mind. This I Ching concerns the eventual transcendence of the mind. For those who don't recognize the existence of a higher world, an invisible world, a divine world, for those that consider all states merely activations of the neural pathways in the brain and the central nervous system, this is not going to land easy. We are all psychotic. Psychosis generally refers to the loss of touch with ordinary reality. And that's why I'm saying we are all psychotic, because we're all out of touch with ordinary reality. We think that the world that our mind sees is the world. And sages of all time have testified that this is untrue, and that there exists planes of reality that are far beyond what we generally refer to as normal. But how far have we moved from the magical? Magic is now seen as a backward step in evolution. When I use the term magic, I'm not referring to connecting with spirits. I'm talking about the ability to interface directly with the spirit of life, to feel the rush of power pass through the body, and to know that our underlying being is of emptiness. But we need to find balance. If we go too far from our waking reality and we're unable to return and integrate our experience, then we may be labeled as an unstable psychotic, even though we'll be labeled by other psychotics. And if you don't even dare to venture beyond the world of the mind and stay in the false sanctity of scientific, religious, or any mindset, then you will just be a stable psychotic. Are you a stable psychotic? It's okay to be honest. You probably are. I am. But that's where the journey begins. When we contemplate these I Chings each week, we invite the magic in. And you may start seeing, feeling, and sensing the magical, the world beyond what the mind sees. Other dimensions open up. I'm not trying to belittle our scientific understanding of the mind, or the great work done by those whose lives are given to help people in mental distress. My point really is that mental distress has grown because of the world our minds have created. Generally, when you look around, you're not seeing a world created by the heart. You're seeing a world created by the mind. And this is our civilization. And it has come into being because of greed, lust for power, and fear of death. And that is the world of the shadow frequencies, the shadow consciousness. Imagine how different the world might be if we remembered what lay beyond death. We would quickly realize that we're accountable for our every act, every thought, every word, and every deed. There's no escaping divine justice. The most basic definition of the word psychosis simply means a condition of the mind. So when we begin to move into states beyond the mind, then we move into territory where the mainstream consciousness, the shadow consciousness, doesn't want to venture. It doesn't go there because science needs to retain its objectivity, and beyond the mind, it's utterly subjective. But where it gets interesting is when the subjective experiences that lay beyond the mind, the three-dimensional thinking, are reprocessed through scientific thinking. The science of the beyond states are quite something. For example, the I Chings, gene keys, human design, astrology, Kabbalah. The esoteric sciences are magical modalities. Knowledge can be beautiful and filled with inspiration. In the mystical Kabbalah of the Tree of Life, the sphere of knowledge is called Dat, also known as the abyss. Beyond the abyss lies the sphere of wisdom, Binah. And the message is clear. To find wisdom, we have to give up knowledge. Wisdom is alive, vibrant, wild, spontaneous, illogical, and paradoxical. Anyone can gain knowledge, but few become wise. If you're contemplating this shadow, contemplate your systems of thought. Look at the thinking that you hold dear. Look at everything you have learnt, as this is a journey of unlearning. Knowledge could be useful. It could be beautiful. It could take you right to the edge, but it can't take you over the gap. It can't take you across the abyss of death. Be gentle with yourself, but also be crystal clear of the mind. It isn't the enemy, but it isn't here to protect you. We typically use it to try to make ourselves feel safer. If you don't feel safe, it's because you're not used to the states beyond the mind. The I Ching, the gene keys, take you there slowly, expanding our consciousness and opening up our hearts softly and slowly over time. Higher states are not the goal. Integration of the higher states is the goal. And that demands that we are in the body healthy and in the world of form as we explore what lay beyond the worldly dimensions, what we can't see but feel and sense. The 61st gift, the way to alchemize the shadow and raise the vibration, inspiration. The secret to this I Ching and therefore all of life is creativity. It's a beautiful secret. Who would have thought that the key to higher consciousness is in creativity? Maybe you thought it's in spiritual practice, meditation, or prayer. Well, there's some truth to that. But what gets forgotten and neglected in the modern world is the beauty, wonder, magic, and healing power in creativity. When the mind is active, busy, looping in thoughts, the moment we begin to create, move our hands in creation, the mind lets go and begins to empty out. And after a while, only the essential remains. Anyone who has done a lot of creativity knows exactly what I mean, this emptying out. All kinds of creativity has this effect, the soothing of the mind, and especially music. Playing, singing, listening, it doesn't matter which. Music allows the mind to find its natural geometry, its harmonic basis in the world. This is the gift of inspiration, of being inspired, of listening to that which comes from within, from beyond the veil. There is a piece of music for every moment in the universe. And this is what inspiration is. It's playing with the music of creation. You could do it through dance, art, building, gardening, cooking, any aspect of human endeavor that has at its heart the attunement to a higher harmonic principle. To be inspired is to be filled with breath, with life, from the Latin word spiro, I breathe. And this is the secret to breaking out of our psychosis, our stuckness, our head trips, and our thought loops. We have to experience what it feels like to be a god and learn how to be a creator. Remember this great secret. If you're feeling down or feeling distressed, if the mind is pursuing you, pick up a guitar or a pencil and let the sensations be felt. Add some creativity and allow your spirit to express its humanity. If you have the 61st I Ching in your energetic design, then life is a contemplation of death, and you must not turn away from this deep work. The answers will fill you with life. The answers will come. The remembering of the beyond will return in divine timing. You must let it move you into creative work. You must listen inwardly for the music of life. To be born in a human body is to be born wounded. Inspiration is the way of healing this wound. As you learn to heal it inside yourself, so you will learn to heal it in others. They will be drawn to you and your work. They will be drawn to your music. One final thing to mention on the 61st gift. It's all human. It's about the meaning of the word human, and the journey is to let go of. Our life is a sacrifice for the sake of the whole, for the sake of Gaia. We are here to heal our hearts and give our breath, our inspiration for the sake of this beautiful planet. The 61st city, the highest vibration, sanctity. In the original I Ching, this 61st hexagram was named Inner Truth. The 61st I Ching seeks the holy. It looks for the sacred by creating it. The emptying out of one's will in order for the divine to occupy you. Becoming empty in order that you could be filled with divine will. So at the shadow frequency, we're filled with thoughts, the low vibrations. To court the divine is to be empty. We are not here to judge ourselves, but to simply see ourselves for what we are. I empower you this week to create space, get to higher awareness, notice your thoughts, feel all the sensations fully that come up in the body this week. Shine the light of awareness to your thought loops and thought patterns. Feel the sensations deeply within your body and do something creative, anything. Be blessed.